2, 3. Introduce yourself.
What's up, I'm Pete.
That's Peter. Okay, we're gonna set up the rolling Kimura trap from the open guard position. So as we're passing, we're gonna look to get into the rolling Kimura trap. We have a few options for the finish. We're gonna take the back from there. Okay, so we're gonna start in the open position. My partner's in a seated position. From here, I'm gonna look to make grips before I set this up. So I want some kind of opening here so I can step my leg to the inside, and I want his hand to post on the mat. So my right hand is gonna go to his shoulder, my left hand is gonna go to his knee. The same side I have my hand on his knee, that's the side I walk to, so he posts his free hand on the mat. Otherwise, he's gonna fall to his back. So I walk, he posts. Now, as soon as he posts, I'm gonna take a step to the inside with my right leg. So whatever side I have the hand that's on the shoulder, that leg will step, and the most common reaction from here is he'll take his free hand and wrap it around my leg. Now, once he wraps his arm around my leg, I'm gonna take my head over his head, I'm gonna look to attack this arm with the Kimura trap. So head goes over the head, his head ends up inside my armpit. I'm gonna look to take my hand off his knee and then just grab a hold of his arm here. The connection of the Kimura trap will happen as I roll. So I look over my shoulder towards my partner's head, my right hand will go across his back, inside his armpit, and then I'll look to grab a hold of my own wrist. So it looks like this. Once we fall to our back, I glue the hand towards his stomach. And now a few options from here. Most common reaction is gonna be, he's gonna be walking towards my head. As he walks towards my head, I raise my hip up. My knee goes to the inside between his hip and his elbow. I'll take my first hook in, and I'll use that to open his hips up, and then get right to his back. So again. So we start in the open position, my head in line with his head, hand on the shoulder, hand on the knee. I start to walk, he's gonna post his hand. Once he posts, I step to the inside, keeping my knee in front of his chest. He reaches for my leg, and my head goes over his head right away. Now from here, my hand comes off the knee, and I look to grab a hold of his arm. I don't really have to grab a hold of his wrist. Just take your hand and place it on top of your partner's arm. As you start to roll, then you can start to slide your hand towards the wrist. So I grab, kick my legs over, and then start to connect my hands. So I connect, punch the hands towards his stomach, straightening my arms out. I wanna make sure I have full control of his elbow. So if my arms are bent here, he's gonna start to walk his legs towards my head and then slip his elbow down and out. So I keep my arms locked out, and now from here, when he goes to slip his elbow, it's gonna be very hard. So now he starts to come up towards the head, my knee pokes through his hip here, my hook goes in, you open him up, and then get right to the back. So one more time. So here, head in line with his head, post, step. As soon as he grabs, my head comes over his head, towards his shoulder, glue those hands towards his belly. He comes up, and we get right to the back. Okay.